This is by far my most requested video, so here it is.
We're off to a rough start.
How many days do I have left? Today is a great day.
The wait's hard.
Last year I did a 180-day challenge before my 30th birthday, which I documented on social media. And over those 6 months, I got in the best shape of my life. I finally finished the draft of my screenplay and I decluttered 180 items from my life. I even got the news that I would also be directing for an Amazon TV show, which wasn't a direct result of the challenge, but I don't think that it was a coincidence that it happened during that season. And I wanna set the stage here because I am not a challenge kind of girl. I have started many of them. I have technically only finished one before this. I say this because I developed this challenge for that person, basically Tiffany proof. And in this video, I'm gonna walk you exactly through the system I developed to do it, how to decide on the goals that you're gonna focus on in these 6 months. And I'll also talk about how to keep track of those goals using the Notion tracker that I created. So whether you're turning 30 or ready for a change, 6 months is more than enough time to transform your life. And so with that, welcome to the anatomy of a dream. All right, so here are the rules. Number 1 is to not pick more than 3 goals or dreams. I didn't do this one, and this is exactly why this rule exists. Anything beyond that's gonna keep you from giving your full attention to what matters most. The second rule is to track your progress every single day. Tracking everything daily from your workouts to your milestones is going to allow you to know that you're actually moving forward. It will keep you motivated and it will show you how far you've come. Number 3 is to share your goals to stay accountable. Tell people about your goals. Put it on social media. Talk about them with your friends. I put mine on Instagram and I felt like the pressure of me quitting publicly was the only way to put that fire under my ass. So the more you say it out loud, the harder it becomes to back out. The first step that I did was make a list of all the things that I wanted to accomplish or change. And let me tell you that this list was so long. I wrote down my fitness goals, my career dreams, my desire to spend more time with friends and family, my bucket list items. List absolutely everything you can think of. Then we can move on to our next step, which is, in my case, I was choosing off of what I really wanted to get done before 30, and so I had a different approach. In hindsight, because hindsight is 2020, this is what I would recommend. I want you to look at your list and select no more than 3 dreams or goals. 1 personal, 1 career, and 1 health-related goal or dream that you feel will have the highest impact on everything else. So for example, if you have a dream of becoming a content creator with like hundreds of thousands of followers, but you also have a dream of launching your own product one day, focusing on growing your audience first will make the product launch much easier in theory. So these are the goals that if you achieve them, you will make the rest of your dreams and goals easier to attain. And before you lock in your goals or your dreams, make sure of these 2 things. Is this a goal that I have control over? And question number 2 is this goal or dream associated with what I wanted in my past or what I want in my future? Ideally, the goals that you pursue need to match the life that you truly want, not just the life that you thought you wanted. All right, so here are the goals that I ended up choosing for my 180-day challenge. I want you to list out all the steps and metrics that it would take to make this part of your life a reality. What I've learned is that if it's not something that you can check off, it's not gonna be something that you can track. One of my goals was to network, and I ended up having to get very specific about what that meant. Like, how many people do I wanna network with? I had to ask myself how often so that I could ensure that I planned for it ahead of time. And another thing I want you to make sure of when you're going through your sub goals is to make them so that even on your worst days, you can complete them. One of my goals, for example, was to declutter. And so I broke it down into donating 1 item every single day so that ultimately I knew that I could stick to it. Same went for my writing. I didn't aim for 10 pages every day, which I have done before and failed at. I aimed for just 10 minutes of writing a day. There were days that I wrote for hours and there were days that I literally could only commit to the 10 minutes. What it did is it instilled the practice in me to show up every single day. Remember, this challenge isn't just about achieving your goals and your dreams. It's about becoming the kind of person who shows up every single day for those goals and those dreams. It's about shifting your identity so that those actions that you take become part of who you are. Before we dive deeper, I'd like to ask if you could do us one quick favor. If you are enjoying this content and want to see more, subscribing and liking this video really helps our team, and it allows us to elevate the content, bring on amazing guests, and continue to create valuable insights for you. Your support means everything, and it'll help us take things to the next level. Now, let's get back to it. So I have Notion here, which is where I ended up tracking my goals. And as you see, I have 6 goals over here, which again is way too many. And it's the reason that I recommend focusing on fewer. Now let's start off with looking at my fitness goals. Right here, I have working out every day. So my target was 180 of those, right? So you wanna look at what the sub goal is and how many of them or how many reps or how much percent you need complete in order for it to be a job well done. Now, if you look at the improve in physical exam section, my target was 20 of them, and I was able to hit 28. Now, the reason that I didn't get 100% on my fitness goal was because of the sit-up and the pull-up metric that I set for myself. That's totally fine, because at the end of the day, like, I still met all of my other goals there, right? I felt like that was a complete win. What I love about Notion in this case is that it actually calculates all of the percentages for all of your sub goals, and then it tallies them up and gives you a final percentage of what you completed. Something else that I really loved and that we set it up to do was that it showed me what was a daily goal, what was a weekly goal, and what was a general goal. You can really assess like all of those nitty-gritty components of your goals here, and I really, really love that. For those of you who follow me on social media and saw that I stopped posting after day 100 and something, yes, I finished the 180-day challenge. Day 180 was one of the best days of my life.
Alexa, play celebratory music. The day has come.
This challenge for me showed me so many areas of myself that I didn't really know existed.
7, there you go. Got it?
But it was no longer the profound stress that I was feeling from not chasing my goals and my dreams. And that is so much more painful in my opinion. In the moments where I had really long set days and I still managed to find a way to do workouts in hotel room floors. The days that I stayed up to work on my script even though I didn't even know what I was really writing at the time. I faced my self-doubt straight in the eyes and I didn't back down. And I think through that, why am I getting emotional? I just think about myself in those like last 6 months of my 20s, and I feel very proud of the fact that that version of myself didn't quit. And I think that was a really surprising part that I found at the end of it. That knowing that I stuck through it for 180 days was like an act of self-love that I honestly don't think I've ever really shown myself. And I just wish that everyone could experience something like that in their lives, because there is nothing more gratifying than showing up for you and your dreams. All it takes is 180 days. You got this. I'll see you next time.
So, day 180 complete, and I'll see you later.